Police in the Greater Accra region are investigating the death of a 34-year-old man at Tantra Hill Thursday dawn. Key to the investigation are 3 suspects who stormed the apartment complex where the gym instructor, Stephen Akoya, lived and shot him in his apartment at about 1 a.m. Now, a woman who was with him at the time was, however, spared, whilst the other tenants in the house were attacked and robbed of their belongings. We'll hear from the police shortly, but first, my colleague Manuel Cranton visited the house and now reports.
We know he picks his car here. He's a very calm guy. He doesn't even answer calls in the car. I know he's a gym instructor. I never expected this to happen to him.
That's a taxi driver who usually chauffeurs the late Stephen Akoya to and from work. Describing his relationship with the deceased, who was widely known as Don Little. Stephen, 34 years, was a fitness coach who worked and lived at Tantra Hills in Accra. He was shot to death at home Thursday dawn by 3 armed men for reasons still yet to be known. I have come to his house to find out what happened. As I walked into the house, there was hardly any sign of human presence.
And so now I see 2 sides of the house, 2 entrances. This one is open. I think I can knock from here, so I'm going to try and knock from here. And
a lady came out of the room, but she will only speak to me on condition of anonymity.
I said, "What tutu adieno?" Ana asa wodi bibi ahyem na odi ne to no ade ahyem se no ka hyem se no waye ne sei bia na TV so enu face dey amedi hu etu no me hu be da ba me sure say because ne iswa.
I was watching from the bathroom. I saw him dismantle the gun and reload it. I've never seen anything like this before. It was a small gun. He stopped the guy and asked how much money he had and then marched him to the room.
Into kawie na omumachi na de no course ro no. Nti man hu hwebiom ba man hu guy na because we na omugina ha sei. Nti me gina ho no man hu omo.
Another tenant, Kwame, gives more details.
Inti later on, and me say be kind of me opposite they be any time AC. But all this one they say I'm not be fear. Mushu to guard you no. Na ye need say I'm not. Inti most of the 1 or 2 guys VPA ever share what was really actually happening. It's almost see and I'm not share. It's almost sure, I'm not going to say, like, they match them into their rooms. I remove phones, laptop, every TV, common say, no. But sometimes, or a gym instructor. And I also know you, sometimes, or Bantem, sometimes, no new woman been a war. Me, to me, I was to say,
he was in there with a lady.
Sometimes,
we all know that she has been coming here. She will normally park her car outside. So when she's here, we know
because of the bar. So
he's been telling us that they are friends. The agents have even been here to caution him against continuing seeing his relationship.
Also, when they are down for once I quite remember the agent in the castle of a 2 woman and of Fred guy the PSO woman or you'll be here or Shekawa. Into Jalichi or so now down for Kate. I'm saying Chebiana. They see into the agent to go your friend quite non better about because they need.
He will later confirm that almost all the other tenants had fled the house in fear of a possible return of the gunmen. He wants police to increase patrols in the area. His fears are confirmed by a shopkeeper just a block away. Stephen used to buy from her, even the night before he was shot.
I was very shocked. Because I've not experienced someone close to me being shot dead. This is my first time, so I've been in shock since I heard the news. Yes, I'm very scared because I have a shop here and I live here, and you really know the next targets. It could be us or other neighbors, so we all are scared here. Everyone is scared. Like, the security should be strong around here. to avoid such incidents because it's very scary.
For now, the body of the deceased has been deposited at the police morgue for autopsy and preservation, while police mount a manhunt for the suspects. For Joy News, Manuel Cranting.
Let's go to Zoom now. My colleague Manuel Cranting joins me with some additional information he's picked up. Manuel, so there's the mention of a lady who was in the apartment of the deceased who was spared. But what have you gathered about this person and why was she spared? Do you know?
Well, Ernest, we do not know exactly why she was spared. Indeed, my sources within the police tell me that they are actually still grappling with finding an answer to that question. What we do know, however, is that this lady had admitted to the police that she was in a relationship with the deceased. And she says that that relationship has been ongoing for about 5 years now. We also know that she says she is divorced. And you heard in the report, one of the tenants in the house tell me that an agent who brought the now deceased gentleman had come there to caution him to stay away from engaging this particular lady. Well, she tells the police, according to my sources, that she's divorced with a husband with whom she has 2 kids. And so, as for now, though, even though there are some links that are being created, we haven't seen any such yet, at least from official sources that we have been cultivating, Ernest.
And so the suspicion is that, and from what you've been hearing from the neighbors, if this is indeed something that was done from anybody associated with the woman who was spared, it must have been because she allegedly is married to this man, and for that matter and we understand they have kids together, and was spared because of the obvious devastating impact.
You're right to make that extension, Ernest. So that is essentially the extrapolation that the tenants and in fact a few of the people that live around the house have been making, Ernest.
Thank you very much. That's my colleague Manuel Cranting, who has been following the story of the murder of the 34-year-old gym instructor at Tantra Hills. Let's go on to the line now and speak to DSP Efia Tenge. She speaks for the Accra Region Police. Thank you, madam, for your time here on Joy News Prime. What are the facts you have learned as far as this case is concerned?
All right, thank you very much. The incident actually came to the attention of the police. That was yesterday, early hours, around 1 a.m. And there was a distress call that was calling for the police to respond to an incident that had already occurred. And so swiftly, the police within the jurisdiction moved in. And on our arrival, we had to come to terms with what has happened. And we saw a gentleman who had been shot dead, and also the immediate person the police could lay hands on was a lady.
Okay. And
so we had to, first of all, secure the scene and ensure that the next day we get our crime scene experts from the Criminal Investigations Department to do what we have been taught to do, that is our general reconstruction of the scene, and also pick our evidence for further analysis. And so we had to do that. Then again, the police also had to take the lady who was at the scene for further interview. And we have gathered a lot of information from all angles. And for now, I would say that the incident that happened yesterday is still under investigation. This morning, we had to begin with a coroner's form where we look forward to do an autopsy on the body and also do further analysis together with whatever the police has picked at the scene for further direction. What we are very worried about is disturbing accounts, different accounts of people assuming that the deceased was shot because of a relationship, whatever. You know, it is very disturbing when we begin to get accounts such as this.
Yeah.
This is an incident that has happened. The moment we begin to go the angle we are going, then it means that we have already done our investigations. We know what happened, and it does not help the police unravel the truth. And so for now, we would ask members of the public if they have any information. We are doing some interviews, and all. We are taking interviews, taking other accounts of from witnesses and what have you. If you have any information, why not channel it through the right sources? I know the Malsavin police has done a lot.
Okay.
And now we'll have the regional and also the national components also coming to also add more, and not expect that we go and say all sort of things that actually may not even be the case. And so for now, we would ask and plead with members of the public to exercise restraint in the area of giving a lot of accounts of what it is, what people are presuming or what people are assuming to be the case and what not.
Indeed, what you're cautioning against is speculation.
Sure,
but I'll just, because of time, DSP, if you're thinking, because of time, what is the state of the woman who was allegedly spared by the robbers in this incident? Have you spoken to her? Have you taken a statement? And what is her current status?
Yes, actually, yesterday when the police picked her, she was in a very traumatized stage. So we had to stable her and also see what best of information we can get from her.
Okay.
And so she has been very cooperative. She has been assisting the police. And for now, I can say she's fine. But it is true that initially, when the police took her out of the scene, she was a bit traumatized. And anybody who has gone through such a scene would definitely be in that, let me say, position or condition.
Thank you very much. That's DSP Efiatinge. She speaks for the Accra Region Police. And as you heard her say, if you have some more information to help the police unravel what happened, feel free to call their toll-free lines and divulge that information.